Hello? Is it me you're looking for? Probably not. Anyway, welcome back to the Smallville Retrospective. You're messing. We're looking at Season 6, Episode 2. A sneeze. Something I've been familiar with the last couple weeks, actually. It's not like it's a cold, and it's a very slow working one. I don't know. I got some sores in my nose and stuff. I always thought it was allergies. Could be. But, because I don't sneeze a lot when I have a cold, actually. But, anyway, sneeze. This episode was fine. It does further some things. It could have been filler if all it was about Clark and his sneeze. But it's not. So I'm going to be for real with you guys right now. I sort of dozed off a little bit. I've had with sleeping because they left the air conditioner on over the weekend and it's gotten down to like in the 40s. The air's still on and I can't turn the heat on. It gets cold in here and I sleep on the bathroom floor so I get cold and it roasts my sleep. I'll probably ask my help with this, but anyway, so for what I can remember, Lana, how does the episode start? The episode starts with Clark. I can't remember how the episode starts. Fuck. Hold on a minute. We might be able to navigate from there if we do this. It's the end of the last episode. So the episode starts with coffee, apparently. I think I remember. So it starts with coffee. Yes, because Martha's pouring herself a cup of coffee, and Clark has been out all night rebuilding Metropolis after everything went bad. He believes it's his fault. Sort of, kind of. He really saw it, so that's what he thinks. But Martha thinks that he's feeling a little fatigued. And then he sneezes, and the barn door flies off and lands in front of Lois, who happens to be jogging. Conveniently in front of Lois. This jumpstarts her reporting instincts. Yeah, we're heading towards that, because she's not a reporter yet. Chloe's the one that is the reporter. I don't know, but after the credits, we find out that Lana is going to move in with Lex while they're repairing the college. I guess. Just so you know, the college is never seen again. They dropped it. So she's living with Lex now. And yeah. But we see that Lex is being followed by who he does not know. He confronts Lionel, of course, but Lionel, he denies it. And for once, he's telling the truth. Yeah. So Lois comes back and mentions about the barn door. Don't you have to go by the barn before you walk in the door? She doesn't notice it until she's in the house and looks out the window. But the barn is right there when you drive, unless she came from the back door, I guess. She came from the back door. Different? Like every time you come in the driveway, the barn is right there. You can see it. By the way, barn doors are always open. It happens to be closed here, so we can sneeze it off, I guess. And, later Chloe tries to explain it as there's some kind of whirlwinds in the Midwest that sometimes will just cause things to fly. I don't know what she was trying to... She's trying to cover Clark's ass is what it is, because he goes to see her. He's like, I like how he says to her, he's like, I sneezed. She's like, And it blew the door on the lower side, whole thing. So he confides in her directly what's going on. Meanwhile, Lex has been kidnapped after the conversation with... After he confronts Lionel, Lex is kidnapped. And it's by Lachlan Monroe and some other guy. Yeah, the guy from Freddy vs. Jason. Just saw him in that. Yeah. And he's also in White Chicks. But, yeah. And they seem to be working for someone. Of course, you're supposed to think it's Lionel. Though I don't know why he would then tell someone that he's been kidnapped. But we find out later it's not Lionel. But, yeah. So Lionel goes to the Kent house to tell them. And I like Clark's response of, I don't have anything to do with Lex anymore. And he goes, what about Zod? Lex claims to not know anything about what happened, but he could be lying because he's a Luthor, and Lionel is fully aware of this because he is also a Luthor. He's like, if he knows anything, and if they push him enough, he could say something. So, of course, Clark has to go save Lex again. But, yeah. There is this private security guy named Pontius who was on the job, and we find out that he was murdered by them. What's the point of introducing a character like this if you're just going to kill him off? Like, it's like, oh, this guy's a private security guy. Okay, he could be a decent recurring character, but we see him in one scene, and then we find out that he died while investigating the building. And, yeah. But, because he gives Lana the number to call if he needs him. So she tries to call him, it doesn't answer. So Chloe goes to Clark, and they end up tracking down Pontius's place, and they find a safe that he uses to sneeze powers, and it's basically the... Of course, they completely overhyped this with a big CGI wind thing going in, and then and out. It was so simple on Lois and Clark. You just went and a wind effect. That's it. Yeah. And there's one scene where they're inside the planet that he sneezes and everything goes up and everyone's like, oh, what happened? What happened? You did not see the guy sneeze? Enough with that beeping. Go drive forward. Look, I understand you need to warn people, but it's freaking annoying. You need to really have it beep the whole time. My nose is bugging me. Sorry. So we find out that Lachlan Monroe and the other guy, I think his name is Block, is Lachlan Monroe's character's Block, and the other guy want to know how Lex got his powers because they saw it on the only working satellite, which we find out belongs to someone else. You think, oh, it's a Luthor Corp satellite? They hacked into it. So no. We find out later. And that he has power. He saw him swat away bullets at the Pentagon, so he thinks he has powers. The problem is, he shoots him right in the arm. Lex goes, ah! You can clearly tell that he's bleeding, and yet they still don't believe him. Like, there must be some kind of serum that goes away after a while. Really? And Block is off his rocker because he's lost it. He goes rogue. They were just supposed to interrogate him, not hurt him. And well, we see Lionel has found is somewhere in a clock tower at some fancy apartment, looking around. He picks up a picture, if you will, a photograph of a little boy with his parents on a boat. Yeah. And then steps in a handsome young man with blonde hair. This is Oliver Queen, played by Justin Hartley. I mentioned him in the last one. I didn't say who he was playing. Yep, that Oliver Queen. And yes, the boy in the boat is supposed to hint at it. And they don't really say it at this point yet. Mr. Queen. They hint that he and Lex have some history. They went to the same school together. Excelsior Prep, I think is what it was called. And yeah, and it is revealed that Oliver was behind this. His satellite was... We found out from Lionel that his satellite was the only one that was working on Dark Thursday, Black Thursday is what they're calling it. And, yeah. So he's behind it. He never shows up there. Clark eventually finds a place thanks to a message from Lana, I think, and I think maybe he actually uses Pontius's files or something. I don't know. But he gets there, saves the day. They bring Lana in because Lana decides to check out the address. That's the reason why she called Chloe. I think this is when I was kind of going in and out a little bit. Because I'll sit here and I'll listen. I get like this. I can hear everything they're talking about, but it gets blurry trying to remember it. If you don't see it sometimes. They bring Lana in, and they're convinced it's some sort of serum, that she's got it, and they're going to inject it in her, and whether or not it gives her powers, they're going to remember they can still shoot Lex. And Lex is smart. He's like, oh, it's only cured to my DNA. So we'll work on her. Yeah. But Clark comes in, saves the day, and yeah, Bob's your uncle, right? Does Lana get knocked out again? I don't know. And, yeah. So, Lois gets her first byline in the Daily Planet. Or is it the Inquisitor? She started the Inquisitor first. Because I think she wants to go to the Daily Planet to have Chloe put it in there, but she doesn't know. So I think it's the Inquisitor. I think. I don't know. But, yeah. And, she thinks she might have a knack for it. Oh, we're going for that now, aren't we? In a scene that really didn't need to be there, but I understand why they have it, because it's like she would be like that. She questions Lex about the security cameras. And he's like, it's for security. She's like, really? And she clicks it, and it's her undressing. Now, I'm not saying that Lana is wrong in doing this. I'm not in questioning it. But when you're a guy with all that money, living alone inside of a giant-ass mansion, you're going to have cameras in every single goddamn room. I'm not trying to excuse him spying on her changing clothes. But I seriously doubt. I'm 50-50 on whether or not that was there before or after she moved in. To me, it feels like if he's got one in every room. She's like, it's either me or the cameras, Lex. I'll leave. He's like, okay, I'll get the camera out of your room, but the rest stay. Which, yeah, what did I just say? No, he's not living alone, but it's a giant-ass mansion. The security guards aren't there all the time. Well, they kind of are, but sometimes you need the cameras, which, to be fair, I don't know if he actually had them before, because sometimes the Clark super sped in, and they don't catch it. Or at least we don't think they catch it. Maybe, I don't know. He could have just put it up now. Maybe he does it, I don't know. Then we go to Oliver Queen's penthouse clock tower apartment thingy. Well, the other guy is talking to him, and he's like, Block, you guys were just supposed to interrogate him. Block went rogue. It wasn't my fault. He's like, we'll make sure it doesn't happen again. And then he shoots an arrow at the moon. And I episode ends. You said, what did they say? Maybe Borneo. Maybe taking vacation or something. I don't know, but there it is. I'll give it another 3 out of 5 Superman logos out of 5. I thought it was decent. It introduces Oliver Queen, which, nice. We got, and I want to point out something. I think it's rare until they become series regulars. It's something that Supernatural did too, but they were regulars, so it's weird. They interchange. Maybe it's not Smallville I'm thinking of, but it feels like Oliver is not in an episode where Jimmy is. Maybe that's the case. But it was on Supernatural, when they got to season 3, they had Katie Cassidy and they had Maggie from The Walking Dead. And they were rarely in the same episode, if at all. Maybe it was to focus on the individual characters. I don't know. But they were credited as regulars. But if Katie Cassidy was in an episode, Lauren Cohen was not. And if Lauren Cohen was in an episode, Katie Cassidy was not. So, yeah. And I think it's the same with these two. Although I could be wrong. We'll see going forward. But, yes. And now Clark, we do on every season where Clark gets a new power, right? Season 1, X-ray vision. Season 2, the heat vision. Season 3, the super hearing. Season 4, maybe he didn't get one in season 4, did he? He flew for 5 seconds. Maybe he didn't get one in season 4, but here we have the, which is supposed to be ice breath, but it's just super breath in this series. Unless he gets it ice later, but it's super breath here. Yeah. No flights and no tights, but he can gain different superpowers. I think they skipped season 4. I don't remember him getting a new. Yeah, so maybe it was time for that. But they try to give him a new power each season. So, season 5. This is season 6. Season 5. You didn't get one in season 5 either, right? So they finally gave him this here, I guess. But yeah, it was a decent episode. So, what are your thoughts on this episode? Let me know in the comments below. Make sure to like, share, subscribe. Thank you for watching. I'm Scotty, and I'll see you in the next one.